Hello friends, welcome back. And what's going on, Phantom Force? This is Phantombass coming at you with our week number 2 team prep for the IBL. I am your coach of the New York Cosmox, and we are 1-0 after a nice victory versus Josh and the New York Metagross, our New York rival, one of our many New York rivals apparently. So yeah, we're coming off a win, and we're hoping to grab a second one. So, yeah, thank you guys for your support last week, and I hope to see it happen again. So, right here, you'll see teams appear up to the top, right about there. And I'll quickly go over his team and his team of threats that I expect him to bring. Now, looking at his team, the first thing you notice is GarchompTheGod, which is automatically scary for anyone to have to deal with. Then you got Mega Dancy, which is horrifying. Outspeeds my entire roster outside of Swoobat, and even that isn't a good check. Milotic, Scizor, Hitmonchan, Roserade, Miss Magus, or Rotom-Fan, and Monferno. Crystal Monferno is not a worry I have, thank goodness. Let me go over the team I expect him to bring. Because if you look at my team there on the left, you see that it's kind of, the roster's a little shorter. And I've got very few checks to Garchomp and Mega Dancy combined. But really the scariest thing for my team is actually a Scarfed Zoroark. Particularly a physical one, because one with Punishment and Flamethrower is just a scary thing to think about. But really it doesn't even need Flamethrowers, it needs Dark Pulse to blow away Kartana. But I can expect to have U-Turn or Low Kick, or U-Turn and Low Kick, Knock Off, and Punishment are the moves I expect it to have. Because really that's all the coverage it needs to beat my team. Because like, Physical Zoroark is a horrifying thing, because I mean, in theory you don't know what it is till after it's gone for an attack that doesn't belong to another mon. Milotic is a defensive annoyance to my team, because I have a very strong, just difficult time breaking it. Outside of Kartana and Vikavolt, I legitimately have a terrible time beating that thing 1v1. Another annoying Pokemon I have to deal with is Roserade, because it's right at the speed tier underneath a Hydreigon that I can't really say that I would expect anyone to run timid in. They can run modest all they want, because the max fastest mon is Necrozma, and most people don't run a max speed Necrozma, so Roserade can afford to run modest Life Orb most of the time versus my team, and it kind of, now granted it is something versus a Necrozma, so he can't afford to run that risk, I don't think. Another nuisance to my team, but I kind of have checks to, is Miss Magus. It's got just the right coverage to be annoying, but thankfully it's walled by Mega Autono, so I'm not too worried about that. Scizor could be annoying if it's a setup set, but I do have Toxapex that always checks it. And Darmanitan always pressures it. So if I see it coming, it'll be more a defensive role to check Kartana. But I found that Rotom-Fan and Mox did a lot better in checking Kartana, because it also resists Sacred Sword. So really my best move to run versus that thing would be Knockoff. Dancy is just a horrifying thing. If it gets up to +2 speed, and I kind of just let it run away, it blows away my team. Garchomp, if he gets a Sandstorm or gets to +2, and the +2's Tectonic Rage just kind of nerks my whole team outside of my Levitators and Swoobat. But like, even then, its coverage just makes my team hard. Hitmonchan I don't foresee coming because I have a lot of checks to it. Toxapex, Necrozma, Autonos, Swoobat, Vikavolt. Like, there aren't, and Darmanitan just blows it away with any move really. So Hitmonchan I don't foresee coming, but if it does, it'll be an Assault Vest set for sure to kind of check Hydreigon. But I mean, to be fair, Hydreigon is a decent threat to his team, so I can see why. Now looking at my potential threats to his team, 100% Necrozma does a crap ton of work here. In particular, one that can take advantage of its switch initiative, because Necrozma's natural bulk. A lot of his switch initiative is going to be hitting with U-turn, and most of it isn't stab. I say most of it isn't. Well, yeah, most of it isn't stab. Zoroark doesn't have stab U-turn. Monferno doesn't have stab U-turn. Scissor's the only one, and if he brings it, it's probably gonna be bulky, so it won't be hitting too hard. It's also not technician boosted either, so that's nice. The other thing is that Donphan can really serve as a good pivot this game. It will not necessarily be a hazard setter but it could function that role because it'll force out Mega DNC most of the time. Because of the fact that if I run a certain set, it can actually beat DNC 1v1. Other Pokemon that potentially look at your Hydreigon gives his team trouble. Because if he runs a special Zoroark, he's not really doing much to Hydra. Also, a Starbreaker set can really beat down Milotic, and it can really pressure, or an offensive set can really pressure Roserade. So with this in mind, I have a few options in my head. I swear I probably built like 4 or 5 different teams for this. I had one that was like a semi-stall team that worked out really well, but I really had to play it really freaking well to do. And it required a lot of thought, and I really don't think I needed to play that way. Not for this match. Because I know how Brendan plays, and I don't need to make it incredibly... With the people I mocked with, I needed to make incredibly aggressive plays to make the team work. And while it did work out, I didn't want to play that route. The other team I had a hyper offensive team, which kind of worked, but I wasn't really a fan, especially because Milotic just put the team on its back. I have one team centered around Vikavolt, an agility Vikavolt, clicking moves and killing things until it died to Life Orb Recoil or got killed, and that was just the breaking point. And then after that, I just come in and clean up something, which worked out pretty well in some mocks, and others just... The other thing I found is that Rotom Fan is a good check to it. So, with this in mind, I actually decided that we're going to take a more balanced approach this week. Haven't built balance in a good while, so I decided we're going to go with one mod that I know I absolutely need, and it is a check to Garchomp, because Garchomp is an absolute menace. And I thought, what better mod than Mega Autono? Megan the Mega Autono with Regenerators coming. We're going to have this exact spread. I knew this spread I wanted right off the bat, because if I didn't have this spread, I wasn't checking, I wasn't safely checking Garchomp, because funny enough, with this particular spread, we can, and with this exact moveset, I'm going to just tell you straight up the movesets I came up with after a while, instead of all the changes I went through, because I went through so many changes. Yeah, originally I had Dazzling Gleam on here over Ice Beam, but as it turns out, I have Ice Beam as like a backup to hit Rotom Fan as well, which is kind of nice. But I have Ice Beam on here to hit Roserade and freaking Garchomp, because with this investment we one-shot Garchomp, and we two-shot a physically defensive Rotom Fan. With this Flamethrower set, we also two-shot or one-shot any variant of Scizor. If he's Berry, two-shot. If he's not, we one-shot. And we also two-shot any variant of Roserade that isn't max def, max HP, like Assault Vest. Like, that's the only way he can potentially live a hit. Wish Protect is obvious, but I need it for the rest of this balanced team to work out. So, it's more of a bulky offense rather than a balance. Like, I've got a couple mons here that are kind of, really bulky. And I've got a couple other mons that have some offensive prowess to go with their bulk, like this Autono, for example. Now, next up, this Autono was set up in mocks. This Autono was set up fodder for Deancey, so I needed to check to Deancey. I could come in on rocks, take a +1 Earth Power, and still get off Haze. And that's right, Toxapex is coming back. Or Toxapex is making its debut, I should say. We're bringing our Regenerator Core, so just quote-unquote Regenerator Core. We are actually running Knockoff, Scald, Haze, and Recover. Originally I had toxic spikes on here, but they didn't serve much of a purpose, and I found it better that if you brought Milotic, I would be able to get rid of its item on the switch in so that Flame Orb wasn't happening. So we go with this, and Keemstar Toxic Spikes is here. I almost wanted to make it shiny because it's red, but that would be mean. I say that like I care, but you know, it's whatever. So this set can take a +1 Earth Power after rocks from DNC, so we can switch in on the Calm Mind, and we can click Haze, and then we can switch back out and go into something that pressures it, like say Dawn Fan, which I'll explain later. This is one of my primary checks to not only DNC but also Rose Raid, because a Rose Raid that's not packing HP ground is not to be killing me. If memories are, or unless it's got, I don't think DarudeLeafStorm 2 it kills me though. But I do expect a Life Orb Rose Raid. Like, that's the biggest thing I saw in mocks a lot, as well as just in general. I kind of expect, here's the team I expect. I expect to see Garchomp. I expect a Rock Sword Stance, 2 attacks Garchomp with Tectonic Rage. I expect a Rock Polish 3 attacks Mega Dancy, maybe even a Double Dance Mega Dancy. I expect a Flame Orb Milotic, a Spadef set though, because that'll really cause my Hydreigon problems. I expect Rose Raid to come. A Life Orb set with 3 attacks and Synthesis. I expect a Scarf Zoroark with coverage to beat a boosted Swoobat, like punishment, as well as U-Turn, Knockoff, and probably either Low Kick or Flamethrower. Because either way, they're both going to be painful to deal with. And then Rotom, I'm expecting a physically defensive Rotom Fan with Will-O-Wisp, King Air Slash, Volt Switch, and either Defog or Pain Split. So yeah, that's what I expect here. So anyway, back to the team. Like I said, this set is really good for checking a lot of his the few of his especially offensive threats that I see coming. Seeing while it does technically quote unquote 1v1 Milotic, Milotic also 1v1s it, so it's kind of a stalemate when it comes to these things. It's literally a stall fest, and we literally just click Scald and Recovered on each other till Kingdom Come. But anyway, yeah, so that's my Toxapex. Now next up, I decided that I needed another check to DNC that could really pressure it out, and that's gonna be Dawn Fan. We're going with an Assault Vest Dawn Fan this week with Earthquake, Ice Shard, Knockoff, and Rapid Spin. And the exact spread I have is as follows: running 252 HP, I believe it was 156 attack, and 100 Spadef. We're going Adamant because what this does is it ensures that we live. Oh, good lord, not shiny. No, I don't like shiny Dawn Fan. It ensures that we live a +2 Moonblast after rocks, which is crazy, and we kill with Earthquake. We also take a, I believe we take a. Well, I mean, if our Surdy isn't broken, if we're full, we take a +2 Groundium from Garchomp, so he can set up on me. Really, he can't set up on me because I have Ice Shard, but like this attack investment allows me to 2-hit KO Garchomp with Ice Shard. I think that's max HP Garchomp actually. Yeah, we 2-hit KO max HP Garchomp unless he's like really physically defensive too. But if he's that, he's not 2-hit killing us, so that's great. This can really come in on a weakened Garchomp and revenge it with Ice Shard, and it's really nice. We can also really comfortably take on DNC because Earthquake just blows it out of the water. Like, there's no contest. It just knocks it straight out. Knockoff is to get rid of the potential Milotic switch and get rid of its Flame Orb, get rid of a Rose Raid Life Orb, even though he wouldn't switch into Rose Raid because Rose Raid would not appreciate an Earthquake into an Ice Shard. I think that would actually kill, if I'm not mistaken. Rotom Fan knockoff is another thing that's there for, as well as scissor. Rapid spin is obvious, but it could be potentially necessary if I want to keep my defensive core around. So next mon I decided to grab, I actually made a couple changes to this team that I'm reading off, so forgive me if it's a little bit bad. But next up I decided to grab HydreiGon. And originally it was going to be a stall breaker set, but this time I decided to bring a Life Orb 3 attack set with Dark Pulse, Flamethrower. This is what I brought. Yeah, no, I brought Dragon Pulse, Flamethrower, Flash Cannon, and Roost. I believe that's what I brought. I couldn't tell you for certain, actually. Shoot. I'm actually going to check Discord real quick, because I sent it to my friend for him to check over. That was my week 3. Let me look. Okay, let me see. Did I do this in here? I don't really care if I can't find it, but I would like to find it because okay, let me see. I'm trying to think if I revealed anything other than I don't think I sent that to anybody, sadly, so can't really confirm. I know I have Flash Cannon, and I'm pretty sure I went for it at some point. Yeah, I did. Anyway, in fact, I'm almost positive I kept this exact set because I didn't need Dark Pulse because Dragon Pulse is hitting harder. That's what it was. Okay, yeah, this was the exact set I had. So we're running this exact set. 140 in here, 252 in here, 116 timid, I believe. Because what this allowed us to do is to creep his Rosary, creeping my Necrozma, which I fully expected him to do. And everything else that was on his team was either faster than me or way slower than me, so I didn't really care. Yeah. So that was, and this thing was meant to. Flash Cannon is there solely to catch the DNC on a switch in case he decides to be brave and switch it in directly. Flamethrower is to beat down Rosary because this is going to be my primary offensive check to it. And Dragon Pulse is there because if he decides to try to set up on me with Garchomp, and I think he's going to do that, I just click Dragon Pulse and it dies. Dragon Pulse straight up kills it. The end. Roost is for longevity because I have a Life Orb. I'll be losing 10% every time. I would have put it at a Life Orb number, but I didn't really feel like it because of the fact that I needed this exact bulk to live certain hits, as well as this was needed to deal out exact damage. So anyway, that's the point behind this HydreiGon. Not really too much to say about it. It's a nice fun set. Next up, I decided to bring what I'm going to call the gimmick of the week, and that is going to be my Necrozma. Atlas is back, and this week we're bringing a weakness policy set with Trick Room, Stealth Rock, Photon Geyser, and Flash Cannon, and we're running this exact set because what this allows us to do is we can guaranteed outslow most of his team. Okay, I say most of his team because he can't. Here's the thing. I expect fully for his Zoroark to switch in on this thing. Now, if he goes for knockoff, pops for weakness policy. Goes for Dark Pulse, pops for weakness policy. Especially if you get the Trick Room up first. If he goes for Sucker Punch, pops for weakness policy. If he goes for a U-turn, which is the ideal thing, he can pop our weakness policy and we'll be up under Trick Room and just wreck for days. +2 flash cannon, one shots Zoroark. After some chip, I think once Scizor gets down to about 65%, +2 Photon Geyser kills it, even if he's bulky. +2 Photon Geyser kills most things on this team, and what it doesn't kill, Flash Cannon does. So it's really great. The only thing that chews a +2 Flash Cannon is an Assault Vest Hitmonchan, but it drops to Photon Geyser. This thing could be a potential win condition late game, or even just really a strong breaker early in the mid game. It's because this thing can do so much crazy damage. This thing can also really chew a hit from Miss Magius should he bring it. If he brings Third Chop Hitmonchan, this is even better for us because we chew that for days and we just blow it away. And yeah, the only thing that can really stop this is Milotic. And if he, so I would really have to be, that's the only thing I'd be wary of before I set this up. Anyway, so that's the whole point behind this Necrozma set. It will do well to nuke things, and if I can get in the right situation, then I can really pressure his team with this, especially under Trick Room. Now, the last Pokemon I had is my obligatory check to Scarfers on his team, and that is Kartana. I'm bringing Scarf Kartana for the first time, and hopefully for the last time. I hate Scarf Kartana, but it was so necessary this week. As I ran Leaf Blade, Knockoff, I think I ran Sacred Sword, don't quote me on that, what did I run on it? Psycho Cut, that's what it was. Psycho Cut and Synthesis. Don't hate me, but Scarf Synthesis could be fun. And this is actually the spread we ran, because in case he somehow got really cheeky and decided to try to creep my creep on something, and say he was like, I don't know what he's thinking, like maybe if you got a +2 and he crept, or you got a Tailwind up or something and he crept my Kartana creeping, crept my Scarf Kartana creeping is Zoroark with something, I could catch that off and still outspeed it. That was the thought I had. Leaf Blade does minimum 25% to an offensive Rose Rate. Knockoff does around 33 to 39 to a defensive Scizor. Knockoff does about the same to a defensive Rotom. Psycho Cut one-shots. Psycho Cut one-shots both Hitmonchan and Roserade. This is a max HP Hitmonchan, but that's okay if he is. After we get some chip on Hitmonchan, Leaf Blade kills it. I think we have to have him down to around 65 or 70% to kill him with Leaf Blade. Non-boosted, that is. Once we get to +1, we start killing everything. But yeah, that's crazy. And we obviously outspeed DNC before he gets a Rock Polish up. And that's the good news here. This is pretty much our guaranteed win condition. If we can get everything weakened properly, we can come in with Kartana, just click Leaf Blade and clean up the game. And that's the hope for this. So we either clean out with Kartana or we can clean out with surprises with Necrozma. That's the hope, and that's what we're gonna go for. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have all enjoyed, and stay tuned for the battle tomorrow. I'll catch you guys later.